Welcome everyone to Spread the Juice. Please could you all make sure you're subscribed to the channel and turn those notifications on so you know when our next podcast is dropping. Please also follow us on Instagram and X. Enjoy the episode. Welcome back everybody to Spread the Juice. Today I've got a really, really interesting, controversial, but amazing guest in the hot seat. I've got George Gilbert, who is an ex-Big Brother contestant and now a YouTuber. Hi, George.
You all right, Gemma? Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for coming. I was actually trying to get hold of you for a while.
Yeah, I know. Oh, it was a bit of a nightmare. I had over 1,000 DMs.
1,000?
Yeah, it was crazy. I'd say 95% were supportive. A lot of people were like, obviously, I don't know if your viewers know, but I was booted off of Big Brother.
Yeah.
For asking questions. Make that make sense.
This is what I wanted to ask you. So I watched quite a bit of it, but I wasn't glued to it. But I was glued to the bits that you were talking. And I remember you having a conversation with somebody. And then a couple of days later, I saw that you'd been kicked off. And I was like, for what?
Yeah, I know. Well, I lasted 10 days. So it was a bit underwhelming because the process is 7 weeks.
Yeah.
And given the amount of support I've had since coming off the show, I think I would have gone on quite a way, if not gone on right to the final. And some say I would have won it. So it's a shame how it ended so soon. But I did pick up my first warning on the show on night number 1.
And what was that for?
Well, I was warned various times, but the way they paint it out, it's as if I was marching around saying the N-word or doing a Nazi salute and all these nasty things, when actually I was just, I don't know, poor timing, wrong tone, things like that. But so on night 1, so 4 things I was warned for in total. First one was, I said, I don't believe anybody in history was wholly good nor evil. I think the people that we deem as evil are just misguided, because I think in their minds, they're doing the right thing. Supposing why did you start this podcast? Because you think it's the right thing to do. But someone out there might be going, oh, what's Gemma starting that podcast for? So it's
a lot
just
of people are saying that.
So I then, for my sins, went on to use the most extreme example. I said Hitler. He's what's known as the most evil person ever to most people these days. When he was doing the things he did that makes him evil by the general consensus, he wasn't sitting there going, oh, I'm so evil for doing all this. I think he thought he was doing the right things for Germany at the time. Obviously, it was wrong. I don't agree with it. I certainly don't endorse it, even if I did. Do you think I'd be stupid enough to say it on TV? Of course not. So I just said Hitler was misguided, and apparently that's justifying the Holocaust. Wasn't. But that's just one of those things.
What? Okay, so was that the first night?
Yeah.
How did that conversation come about?
Well, on the first day, you're trying to suss each other out. You know, it's a group of 16 individuals, and everyone's got their own background, and we're all interesting people. Hence why we've been selected for the show. Absolutely. So you do get into the deeper conversations, and what better way to break the ice than a good old conversation about politics? Yeah,
absolutely.
But knowing me, I always put my foot in it, and I just take it a bit too far. But I enjoy talking about the controversial subjects, because that is like Big Brother is branded as a social experiment with people from all walks of life. So you want to get to know one another. And if you think differently about a certain topic to me, then I want to know why you have your opinion. And maybe you can convince me that I'm wrong.
It's all an opinion. Exactly.
Yeah. And we can't live in a civil society. We can't live amongst one another if we just pigeonhole ourselves to our own echo chamber, like social media does, making us more and more extreme by the year. And that's what we're seeing now. That's why when you've got certain political commentators like Charlie Kirk getting assassinated for actually very moderate views, some of the stuff he says, I think it's such a shame. And that's why we do need to discuss these contentious subjects with people who disagree with us, so we can meet a happy middle ground. But
absolutely, I tried doing that. I agree with you. I think everybody having a different opinion is so important, and nowadays you just don't have freedom of speech.
I know
at all. I mean, I didn't know you said that about the Hitler thing. I personally think Hitler knew he was being evil. That's my personal opinion, but I don't judge you for that. So,
but why? What? So you really thought he had an unjustified vendetta against Jewish people and the gypsies and gays? Well, he sees that they are trying to kill the German culture, German people, and they're trying to infiltrate it, type thing. So I suppose in his mind, he was wrong, certainly, but I think that's how he justified it. I don't know enough about him. Would have liked to meet him.
No.
Would have liked, but why not though? Because I want to meet him so I can convince him that he's wrong.
Okay, yeah. I
There's
mean,
no
if
point
you
shutting
put it like
people off.
that.
That's cancel culture. So do you endorse cancel culture?
Absolutely not.
I think you do, by what you just said.
I definitely don't endorse cancel culture.
So you wouldn't want to discuss anything with Hitler?
I mean, it's not at the top of my list because I don't care about it enough. I know.
Do you think if Hitler was around that he should be platformed on TV or on? Would you invite him on a podcast like this? Maybe.
It's a very, very good, difficult question.
Yeah. Be careful.
Yeah. No, I mean, the thing is, I actually had a guest who was meant to come on in between you and my last guest, and they didn't come on because you were coming on. And
really?
Yeah. And I'm not trying to make you feel bad because I genuinely, like, I could have cancelled you. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I want this podcast to be, and I'm getting to your point, a place where I don't have to agree with my guest. I'm not saying I don't agree with you. I agree with a lot of things you said. And I don't have to like my guest or what they're saying, but it's a place for freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Now, putting Hitler on here is a completely different kettle of fish. I think it would be a very scary thing to do.
Yeah,
But,
totally. And because everything, almost all of his views were so outrageously incorrect. And so many people obviously died because of what he endorsed. So it's a tricky one. But
you don't think anyone's evil? Like,
I think they're evil, but from their perspective, they're not. So
everyone in the world, or just in history?
No, I think almost everyone. Like, supposing there's an ISIS terrorist, that person is setting off a bomb because they've been brainwashed to think that's the right thing to do. Now, every normal person who is sane realizes, of course, that isn't right, and no one should be setting off bombs that kill innocent citizens. No. However, in their mind, they are right to do that. So I don't think they're evil in their head.
That's a very, very interesting.
I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, and it's funny because I do think like this sometimes, not on such an extreme level, but for me in just day-to-day life, I get by trying not to take people's behavior personal, because in their head, they're not seeing it as, of course, I'm just looking at it from a personal perspective, but if someone's done something to hurt me or offend me or treated me disrespectfully, I feel like the thing that gets me around it being hurtful is that I think that they don't believe it's like that because of whatever they've been through in their life. Everybody is where they are. You're who you are because of what you've been through in your life and what you've experienced and what's gone through your brain, where you went to school, and same here. And I guess that's kind of the same with what you're saying in a sense of being brainwashed. I mean, I don't really want to talk about terrorism as such because it's a very touchy subject.
Yeah, like, I don't want to be seen as a supporter of ISIS or of the Nazi Party, of any of these evil organisations. But I think from their perspective, they are doing the right thing. Obviously, it's not, but that's my point. And I know it can come across, people can extract what I'm saying, and it does look like I'm supporting these people, but that's not what I'm saying. I just want to talk about it. But then when people ultimately instantly dismiss you just for stuff you're saying without trying to learn what you actually mean by your words, I think that's wrong.
Yeah.
And that's not how the West has been built, that has given us the freedoms that are now dying, but that we have.
Absolutely.
Who was the guest? Are you allowed to say?
I'm not allowed to say, and I wouldn't do that to them, but
that's fine. That's a shame, but oh well.
I mean, it isn't. I mean, now that that's happened, I actually genuinely, I was upset at the time, but she cancelled yesterday. I feel now like it wouldn't be the right podcast for her anyway, because she didn't agree with a lot of things, like she was for the Charlie Kirk situation, all of that, which is so against what I believe. But I also would have happily given anybody a place to say what they feel. But
Good for you for that as well, because I understand. I've been on various podcasts in the last few weeks, and I know that I'm not necessarily a cool guest to have, because so many people
cool
hate
guest.
me. But cheers! But I know I am.
Yeah.
So anyone that does have me on, I've got respect for you, because I don't know what sort of how you're trying to brand your show, and having me on there, I don't know. I mean, it's like I've murdered someone on there. I don't know why people hate me so much.
I'm not forcing you to say anything. So if people, I feel sorry for the type of person that would brand you with anything I say and vice versa. That's not it. I always say, this podcast is unfiltered. You say what you want to say, I say what I want to say, and people can take it as they want. But what you say has no effect on how my podcast tomorrow turns out. It's just...
But you say that, Louis Theroux,
he's
got a podcast, and he had some guy called Bob Villan on there, and as a result of having him on there, because he was saying death to the IDF, Louis Theroux lost sponsorships for his podcast because he had that guest on there. Now, I don't agree with anything that guest stands for, but I don't think his podcast should suffer. You say that, but I think it can affect you having certain guests.
No. When I say that, it definitely can affect it. But I'm saying from that person's point of view, I don't feel like it should be. And again, it's how the public do think and how society is today. But someone might see my podcast and see you on, and like it happened. I don't want to go on there because George was on there. But why is it relevant what you're saying to what someone says on a completely I could literally talk. No, it's fine. I could literally talk about it for days. And I literally feel like that this whole world is so filtered now, and everyone's trying to fit into this cookie cutter mold of this is what you should say, and if you say this brand will like you, and then blah blah blah. But I just can't be fake. I want to say what I want to say, and if anything, it makes me want to say it even more. So,
I know.
So what was the second warning you had when you're on Big Brother?
Second one was, again, this is close to the bone, I guess, but I meant no harm. I said, as someone with ginger hair and blue eyes, that makes me, I believe, the rarest, do you want to say, breed of human there is, rarest genetic makeup, because they're both recessive, and you don't see many people with that combination. So I said I feel a bit of a responsibility to try and continue my genes on, procreate with someone who can have a child who may look like me. And that doesn't mean I'm necessarily looking to partner with a red-haired woman. My mum was brunette, but I'm just saying I feel a bit of an obligation to continue my genes on. So if I was to then get with a woman that had, say, black hair, black skin, black eyes, or brown skin, those are dominant genes. So the ginger hair, the gingerness would be lost. So I said I'd feel I'd be betraying my kind a little bit. And I know betraying, that's the wrong word. It looks a bit nastier than my point was. But that's all I said. And would anyone take offence to that? I don't think. I mean, I certainly shouldn't, because I didn't mean any harm by it.
Are people saying you're racist?
That's the route they took it down, yeah.
And you're not racist?
No, of course not.
No.
I mean, who's to say I won't get with a black woman, for instance? I'm not ruling it out. I'm just saying I'd quite like to continue my genes on, in a way. And I've met many black people who said, yeah, I want to be with a black woman because I'm proud of my melanin-rich skin. Good luck to you. Each his own. Why should I not be allowed to say that? And if you get offended by that, I suggest you grow a thicker skin.
Yeah, because I feel what you're saying in terms of people do love to say racist to any comment.
It's easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Label.
Yeah. And also, for example, if people ask me my type, if I say, I probably shouldn't put this on there, but for example, if I say, I don't fancy Chinese men, I've said that before, and apparently I'm racist, but I don't fancy them.
Exactly,
That's just
it's just the way it is.
Or I haven't met one so far that I fancy.
Yeah.
But
it might happen.
It could happen. Yeah.
It's just not what turns you on.
No, exactly.
But some people just can't see past that first veil of, he's racist. Everything he says must be racist. Let's cancel him and everything.
Exactly.
No, learn why and try and convince them otherwise if they genuinely are racist.
Yeah.
Let's talk to them and debunk these theories they've got in their head somehow.
For sure.
That's my stance.
Okay, next warning.
Next one was so there's a housemate in there called Sam. Now we were playing a game of spin the bottle just to liven things up because so many people are so guarded. They don't show their true feelings because they don't want to get nominated in Big Brother. So we're playing spin the bottle, and it landed on me, and I was asked to say something bad about each and every housemate. This was the day before nominations, so proper stitched me up because I then ended up getting the most nominations. But so I was saying there's a woman called Jenny in there. She's got a really thick Northern Irish accent. So I said, your accent's really thick. I can't really understand you, love. I said to Cameron B, he's very loud. I said to Elsa, she should get involved a bit more. And then I got to Sam. Sam's a gay housemate and lovely guy, got on with him. But I just said, Sam, you're a bit, and I couldn't think of the word at the time, but I said, you're a bit, nah. I should have said flamboyant or something like that. Yeah. He's a bit yappy. I'll probably get in trouble for that, I know. And at the time, he giggled at it because it was just lighthearted. I was saying something bad about everyone. Whether it was Jenny or Cameron B or Elsa or anyone, they could have taken offence to what I was saying. But then
you were asked to be offensive.
I know, yeah. I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. Because if I said, no, I'm not doing that, then I'll get then I'll get nominated for not getting involved and being a spoilsport.
You're not there to not join
Exactly. That's the whole point of Big Brother, isn't it? So apparently then another housemate called Faye Shola, she was comforting Sam, like, oh, that looked like it offended you. Are you all right? And then so Sam giggled at the time, but then the following morning he came up, he pulled me to one side for a chat and started crying and said I was bullied for comments like that at school, especially because other people were laughing and stuff. And I said, well, I did feel bad because I never want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. I want everyone to be relaxed and to enjoy their time. I don't want to be that sort of person. So I did feel bad, and I said I didn't intend for you to feel this way. I apologised for making you feel, because he was in tears. I thought, well, I don't want to put the boot in further, and I'm not apologising. So I apologised, all good. And then, so we squashed it. Sam was happy. I even gave him a hug. I don't give anyone a hug. I shake their hand normally. So
I just gave you a hug.
I know. I was like, that's the last one you get. Okay. So, yeah, me and Sam, good as gold. And then that evening, Big Brother calls me in saying, George, we're issuing you a formal warning for that comment to Sam. He was all right. I didn't mean any harm. I said sorry. And then Big Brother's like mollycoddling him. Don't say it to Sam because he got bullied. I don't know what he's bullied for in school. Jenny could have come up to me and said, I got bullied for my Northern Irish accent at school. Take that back. What, so am I going to get bloody 15 warnings? It's mental. But as I say, you can't say boo to a goose these days.
No.
Anything you say may offend someone somewhere. So actually, it's best to just not say anything. And that's why people say, oh, do you regret going on Big Brother? I don't regret it because I was just myself, and I did actually enjoy it while I was there. And I got on with everyone. That's the funny thing.
Yeah.
But I just think it's a shame that you can't say certain things now. Because if I'd have said all 4 of the things I was warned for in Big Brother 20 years ago when it first started, I'd still be in there right now.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't have been offensive. It wouldn't have been warning... I wouldn't have got warned for anything I said. So it's just mental how the bar of, like you say, freedom of speech has dropped so low that
absolutely,
you can't say anything
yeah.
now, but
I think that everybody should be entitled to their opinion. And why can't people disagree? Why does it all have to be under this like umbrella of tiptoeing around the truth of things? Like, I
don't know.
And what was the 4th one? Is the 4th one when you said about the boats?
Boats?
The immigrant boats.
No.
Oh, did you not get a trouble?
No, I didn't get one for it.
Oh, okay.
I'm not that evil, Joe.
No. That's the one
you'd think I would, but no, they didn't, luckily. So the last one was, so it's the previous night, a housemate called Caroline was done for transphobic comments against a housemate called Zila. So this evening...
What was that comment?
That was, she said she said about Zila, who's a trans man, so transition from woman to male, said, talking about Zila, she's got a vagina or something. Well, I got to be careful, but that's what Caroline said. And
she said what? Sorry.
She said she's got a fanny, I think. So by calling Zila she when Zila has transitioned to be a man, that's transphobic because Zila's now a man. And I know that the constitutional law is that I believe until you've got the chromosomes, then you're not entitled to be legally called a male or female.
How do you get the chromosomes?
I don't know for certain. I need to read up on it, to be honest. But at the end of the day, according to Big Brother's rules, it's the Big Brother house. According to Big Brother's rules, that is transphobic. So Caroline shouldn't have said it. That's my stance. Like, agree or disagree, that's just how it is in the house. So as soon as she said it, she was like, "Oh my God, I feel terrible." So anyway, there was an atmosphere in the house, and in that evening, we're all eating dinner, and no one was really saying much. There was no one's starting a conversation because everyone just felt a bit scarred from the night before, if you like. So there's a group of lads in there. They call themselves the Wolf Pack, and they were trying to rage bait me. They're just having a bit of banter, and they know I've got an opinion on everything. So ask me questions, I'm going to respond with my opinion.
Yeah.
So we touched on conspiracy theories. Who built the pyramids? Has man been on moon? All the rest of it. And I don't really care about conspiracy theories. We're never going to know the truth, so why bother deliberating on what happened? But then someone mentioned Epstein's Island, which is the conspiracy theory of the day, if you like. That's what everyone talks about right now. And people were like, "Oh, who do you reckon's behind it, George?" And I said, "Well, I don't have any evidence to know for sure, but a lot of people say Israel are behind Epstein's Island to make a kind of, I think they call it a honey trap for prominent Western figures. See Prince Andrew or Donald Trump, they're accused of being on the island. Don't know for sure yet, but they're accused. So how would Israel be linked to this? Well, I said, obviously Israel is the state of, it's the country that Jews call home. And Ghislaine Maxwell's father is alleged to have worked for Mossad, which is the Israeli version of the CIA. So all I said was, my heart goes out to all the Jewish community. Every Jewish person I've ever met, they've been wonderful people. They're skilled. They give back to society. They build things. They're valuable people in our country. And to see the discrimination they're suffering today in London is heartbreaking, all because of the Israel-Palestine war,
Absolutely.
a war in another continent.
Yeah.
So my heart goes out to all those Jews. It's like crystal knocked out there. Kosher meat shops getting vandalised, Jewish synagogues, it's desecrated. It's horrendous.
Well, it happened in London the other week, didn't it?
Yeah, it happens.
Oh wait,
often.
Manchester it was, I mean.
It was 2 Jewish men killed.
Got stabbed, yeah.
Horrible. And so I said, I haven't got an anti-Semitic bone in my body, but I said, I do understand why people are skeptical about some kind of Jewish world order. And I said, anti-Semitism has lasted for millennia now. And some of the finest minds of human history, from Cicero to Shakespeare, Voltaire, Henry Ford, Roald Dahl, all these very intellectual men have had anti-Semitic trope in their writings. So is it a case of no smoke without fire? Are all these men wrong? Of the anti-Semitic theories of centuries now all been incorrect, or is there some truth to it? But by saying, is it a case of no smoke without fire, apparently that's endorsing anti-Semitism, something along those lines. And I just think it's wrong.
You basically put your opinion out of a potential conspiracy theory.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And as I say, I've not had any negative interactions with Jewish people. So I want to fight their battle. I want to debunk these horrible anti-Semites out there who do hate Jews because of the Israel-Palestine conflict. And I want to fight for the Jews and say, this is why you're wrong, Mr. Anti-Semite, X, Y, and Z. But until I get answers to these valid questions that people have asked me, why do you think Jews are... Until I get answers to throw back at these anti-Semitic people, then I can't fight their corner, if you like.
Absolutely.
So I was just asking questions, and because there was no balanced argument from my housemates, it looked like I was preaching. Because when I go off on one, there's no stopping me. Yeah. So it looked like I was preaching, and it just looked quite nasty, I suppose. But I guarantee if you ask any of the housemates still in that house and had them on the podcast, and you said, "What did George say that got him thrown off?" They probably wouldn't know. Because it didn't seem like I was saying anything that bad. No one's eyebrows are raised. Oh my God, he just said that. Yeah. That's why when it's leaked, convenient, any publicity is good publicity. When it's leaked that it's anti-Semitic language that's got me thrown off. It looks like I was marching around doing a Nazi salute and pledging my allegiance to the Nazis and stuff like that. That's not what I was saying or doing, or that's not what I believe. I was just asking questions, and you can't do that in this day and
that
age.
is the key. It's not what you believe. And you were asking questions.
I know, it's wrong. But
it is such a shame. So they were obviously, like you said, rage baiting, and you're actually very well. You obviously know you're very intelligent, and I feel like a lot of people. Well, you must know.
I just try and be well read, and you got to be informed, otherwise you come across like an airhead.
Well, exactly.
It's true.
Well,
isn't it?
exactly, and I feel like a lot of people don't have the kind of knowledge that you do. So when they ask you questions, they probably get stuck on what to say next. Yeah. Because you're.
That's why it looks like I'm. Some sort of.
I was going to say that's probably why it looks like you're preaching, but it's not your fault. You know everything. You will not know everything. You know what I mean? You're clued up.
Like I've got opinions.
Yeah,
and I've got reasons for my opinions, and that's what Big Brother's all about: sharing opinions and chewing the fat about these different issues. Because I spoke to Zila a lot, and Zila said to me, he's another housemate, he's very left wing. And so we had some interesting chats, and he came to me privately and said, George, some of the best conversations I've had in this house have been with you. Even though we disagreed on pretty much everything, we got on, and I liked him, he liked me. So that's the beauty of a show like Big Brother. But when I was taken out, I think it's a sign of the times. Like, unless you conform to the status quo, then they don't want you. And it's a shame.
What kind of conversations did you have with him?
We spoke about J.K. Rowling, because I before the show, I actually filmed to be on the new series of, making Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Remaking it. I'm going to be on it.
You're going to be on the next Harry Potter?
I never talk about this stuff because it's, I don't know, I feel like I'm bragging a bit. Like, oh, look at me.
No, that's fucking sick.
But away. It's very small. Like, you're probably going to have to stay really eagle-eyed to see me, but I'm one of the alumni at Hogwarts, so I'm going to be one of the moving portraits, like all googly eyes and oh my god, like
that is so cool.
That's what I'm going to be in that. So we talked about J.K. Rowling a lot because she's outspoken on the trans issues, and Zila being trans, it was relevant. We also spoke about Charlie Kirk, because I said it's horrible what happened to him. He's just killed for his opinions. No one should be killed, left or right. But Zila was saying, well, some of his opinions are quite fascistic, or they sound like a fascist would say. I said, don't say that, because it's the lunatics out there that hear, oh, Charlie Kirk's a fascist. And they, in their minds, they are then justified for killing him, because they're doing the right thing. They're killing a fascist. Everybody, I got him. And that's why you saw all these left-wing people on social media.
They were loving it.
I know, they're celebrating his death. And that's wrong. There's no place for that in society. And Zila, he has got a good heart. I don't think he certainly doesn't endorse the assassination of Charlie Kirk, but it's just those turns of phrase like, oh, he had some quite fascist views, or he was so right-wing, it was very discriminatory. Things like that, to the mental yobs out there who do have a gun and do take it to the next level, they hear people like Zila on TV and feel like it's okay to kill these Charlie Kirk types.
I mean, that whole
wrong.
situation,
we need to stamp it out.
It's so wrong. And that situation, I cried my eyes out. I loved Charlie Kirk. And the thing is, what I don't get about people is, for example, if you've got friends and you want to talk to your friends, you don't always agree with everything all of your friends say, right?
Exactly.
So why do you have to agree with everything that someone says standing up? Like, I don't agree with what he said about abortion, but that's pretty much the only thing I don't agree with. Yeah. Everything else he said, I backed it. He had a good heart. You can tell he had a good heart. Yeah. He wanted our countries to be good and positive and
he gave
safe.
A platform to the opposite side. He'd always talked to the liberal people who vehemently disagreed with him.
Yeah, and he outsmarted them every time.
Exactly, and that's what democracies are all about. You need to hear each other's views and try and come to a conclusion.
Exactly.
So when you take someone like that away, all these young men and women who did watch his content, maybe disagreed with some of the stuff he said, maybe agreed, but all them women and men don't have that influencer to look up to now. So they're looking at the likes of Andrew Tate, Nick Fuentes, Alex Jones, and those guys are far more toxic in the eyes of a left-wing liberal than Charlie Kirk. So by killing him, I think they've stoked a beast.
Exactly.
And we're going to see.
And it actually goes back to what you were saying earlier. So even the abortion stuff, you were saying that you should never have one, even if you get raped, which I don't personally agree with for my own reasons. But it goes back to what you were saying earlier about, in his eyes, he believes that's the right thing.
Exactly.
And whether you agree with him or not, like, I don't agree with that particular part, but I know he is a diehard Christian.
Yeah.
And I know that that's part of Christianity if you are at his sort of level of severity with it. So that's why that didn't offend me, because I know where it's coming from. I know it's coming from a place of what he believes is right and what he believes is good.
Well, he just believes life is so sacred that we shouldn't be, in his eyes, killing it or aborting it. So I think it comes from a place of love, that view.
Exactly.
It's just people are they've got their blinkers on. Oh, anti-abortion, off with his head.
Yeah.
And that's not the stance you should take. That's not the grown up thing to do.
And it's so funny because every time I hear someone say that he should have been, or they didn't like him, it's always that comment. It's always just that.
I know, yeah. Well, some people mention the pro-gun stance.
Now,
Now
I heard about that
again,
too.
I'm anti-gun, but I see from his point of view, he's pro-gun against the state. So if the state steps out of line and, I don't know, it feels more communist, for example, then the people should have the means at which to overrule the state and spark a civil uprising. Because in this country, how would we fight back against the state if they're taking our freedoms away from us? We can't, because we don't have guns.
No, exactly.
So that's his stance. He doesn't believe we should go around shooting each other.
No,
and that's why people are so misguided in what they think. But
and again, you don't have to agree with everything everybody says. There's not one person on this planet that I agree with everything.
I know, not even our mothers and fathers.
No,
I don't
in fact,
agree with
them
everything.
less than anyone else, to be honest.
In many cases,
So I feel like people just love to. I think when you've got such a big platform, and someone like Charlie Kirk or someone like me or you can't say anything wrong. But at the same time, you can't please everybody.
Exactly. And what's deemed the right thing to say today, in 10 years' time, may be completely the wrong thing to say.
Well, exactly, because they always show clips of people, say 10 years ago, that now we look at
tweets.
And we look at and we think, God, that's quite outrageous. But back then when we saw it, it wasn't that outrageous.
It's just a product of their time.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
If you said, there's a Ricky Gervais joke, he says, if 10 years ago you were to say women only have vaginas, back then it would be the most normal thing to say, but now it's the worst thing you could say. Who saw that coming?
But they do.
I know, but it's your words, not mine.
That's a whole nother conversation. And it's a difficult one because you don't want to offend anyone. But it's just exactly what Charlie Kirk was putting out there.
Yeah.
And I just feel like on that topic, there's a lot of. I think it's worse in America when this is brought to schools and children.
Yeah.
And I think that if transitioning isn't an option when you're young, it will save people when they're older, because a lot of people transition and then want to go back.
Yeah.
And I think that that's so damaging.
Exactly.
And I think
suicide amongst the trans community is through the roof.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah.
Maybe there's some sort of correlation there. But I think when young people are not indoctrinated, but it's almost like social engineering. We're seeing so much of it. It doesn't even have to be about the LGBTQIA plus society. It can.
Have they added IA+?
I don't know what they all stand for. Yeah, it's more. Should we just do L plus? It's easier.
L plus, yeah.
If it means plus.
Yeah.
But like any agenda out there, I think when it's put onto children, I draw the line there. Me and Zila had a good conversation about. There was a kiss, a homosexual kiss in the Buzz Lightyear film. And he was saying, what's wrong with that? But I just think it is social engineering. It's trying to tell young, vulnerable minds that this is what you should be doing. Because I look up to Buzz Lightyear. I want to be like him. Yeah. Why do they need to sexualize children's films?
Yeah, exactly.
There's no need for it.
No.
Like Teletubbies was what I used to watch as a kid. Nothing political in that.
No.
It's just fun pet bears wandering out around a grass field.
And did you see that thing that came out about Netflix? They there was a cartoon on Netflix and there was like some trans people on it, and one of them said, "I'm non-binary," and it was a kid's cartoon.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
And I think Netflix lost a load of money because they produced this cartoon.
No, it's not the place
I just think like you're not gonna. It's the same with like any adult topic. I think that adult topics should be kept for adults, and I think that is an adult topic, and especially the fact that you can transition. Again, it's an adult conversation. you know.
And you've got tattoos. As a kid, you can't get a tattoo, but you can start a transition in like that.
And you can't
get a tattoo
alcohol.
because it's like, oh, you might regret it when you're older.
Yeah,
you can't drink alcohol, can't drive a car. These things are for responsible adults, and they're big life choices.
Yeah,
the tattoos one and the sex change. So
but transitioning is probably the most biggest.
I know. Yeah, that's it's outrageous. And because I've got that opinion, now I'm some sort of bigot, and people like Zila may go around calling me fascist. It's not true. I'm just saying, let's not rush into these big life choices, and let's stop trying to influence a generation to think they're something they're not, because they're so mentally fragile, and these are very tough issues, tough decisions to make.
It's
we shouldn't be
tough.
leaving children with those decisions to make.
Absolutely not. And I do think it's very tough. If anybody is going through that and they feel like they want to be a different gender, that is tough. But it's just, like you said, not for children.
Yeah.
So that was the final. I've lost track of it. The final thing.
When I said there's no smoke without fire, that's anti-Semitic language, I guess.
Okay, so then you got called to the diary room. And how did that go? Were you expecting it?
No, but I knew I was on the final straw.
Nice.
So I told Big Brother, like, I'm thoroughly enjoying my time. I like everyone here. I'm genuinely enjoying the experience. So I will not say anything out of line. I've proper toned it down. If ever there was a political conversation, I tried drifting away from it. But people just love hearing what I've got to say.
Yeah.
And I thought, it does make good telly when there's a big blazing row.
Yeah.
People love watching it. And since coming out, I've seen a lot of the reels that like of clips from the show that have been posted on the Big Brother accounts. A lot of them contain me talking about politics, because people like to see that.
People are so interested in it as well.
I know, yeah. Well, that is the beauty of Big Brother. Oh, was the beauty of Big Brother.
Yeah.
But I could tell all the producers, they even told me, this is the last thing we wanted. You were such a great housemate. We didn't want to do this, but you just crossed the line one too many times. Now, that was me turning it down. So maybe it's not the show for me, which is a shame, because, as I said, I was enjoying it. But people are saying, oh, would you go into politics then, or something like that? And maybe that's written in the stars for me. We'll have to wait and see. But,
so what are you doing for work? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, well, now because people want to know what I've got to say about certain things, and there were numerous conversations that either didn't make the cut or that I hadn't had a chance to bring up yet, because I was only in there for 10 days. So I thought to myself, I do enjoy talking about certain things, and people want to see that, so give the people what they want. And I did have a YouTube channel where I would make short documentaries all about the countryside, rural Britain. I live out in the sticks, so I felt like we need to recapture what it means to be British. I feel we've lost that as we become a kind of melting pot of all different cultures, and I think that's wrong, because why do people love the UK, and why do people come from all corners of the world to come and live here and make their life worth living here? It's because we have such a great society. We're very tolerant, accepting of all different views and genders and races, religions. We've got a brilliant country here, and we're great at telling people what we're not. So we're not racist, or we're very accepting, but we're not good at telling people why we are so good.
Yeah.
We've given the world so much with inventions and scientists in the arts, all sorts of different endeavours. So I felt that I wanted to shine a light on British culture and history more, certainly with regards to the countryside, because that's where I'm from, and I love it in the countryside.
I love the countryside.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's good for your mental health as well, for
amazing.
One thing. Yeah, so I started a YouTube channel making short documentaries glorifying rural Britain. But since the show, I'm going to step back into that, but for now I'm just trying to diversify my content to a podcast style of a chat. I've not had guests on yet. Whether I do or don't in the future, we'll see. But so now I'm leaning into YouTube for work, because the show has allowed me to get it monetized, which is great news, because I do enjoy it.
So when you say podcast, will it be you talking?
Yeah, so I've done a couple of episodes already now, but
What's
I'm just
it called?
trying to... It's called George Gilbert's Melting Pot.
Love that.
Because I do want to talk about a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's a bit of everything. And people are saying, oh, you need a co-host. And I was thinking, I could do something along the debating lines because I do enjoy that. But now Charlie Kirk's gone.
Yeah.
Could that be on the cards? Maybe. But yeah, it's very early days yet, and I'm enjoying it. So I'm just focusing on that for now, and seeing where it goes.
Where do you aspire to be in, say, 5 years' time with business?
Well, the content I'm making, I must say, it's going to be. It does touch on politics a lot more, and we all know there's a general election in 2029, the next one. I'm counting down the days.
Who
Can't come soon
for?
enough. I'll be voting for, if an election was called today, I'd vote Reform UK. I'm not a wholehearted, hard-hitting voter of theirs. I do have quarrels, but as I say, I don't agree with everyone wholeheartedly. So
exactly the same.
They are I think they align most closely with my views. And I think now the political divide is no longer left versus right, because the Conservatives and Labour, they both fuck the country up, pardon my French.
No,
that's why we're seeing a resurgence of the Green Party. Lib Dems are doing very well, and of course Reform are leading in polls. And that's because the political divide is now populist versus globalist. And I feel with populism, that's more about the community, small businesses, the nuclear family, the building blocks of British society. And I feel Reform have the best grasp on that than any other party. So I think they'd have the best chance to restore hope in our country, because right now we're failing in every single metric, whether it's high crime, the lacking education system, crumbling NHS. This country's a shit show.
The crime is absolutely diabolical.
Certainly in London. Stabbings every day.
That's why I left. But then even the other day on the train in Cambridgeshire.
Huntingdon, yeah.
In Cambridgeshire, literally, I was so shocked.
9 people not fatally, but seriously hurt. Injured. It's crazy, and that's just...
And then didn't something happen in Reading yesterday or the day before?
Was that on a train as well?
No, that was in a college.
Just goes to show, though, it doesn't even make the news anymore.
Well, exactly.
It's commonplace.
It's not big news, and it's not even just London anymore.
I know. We need to make committing crimes scary again. We need to make people fear the police.
This is what I think. I remember I've seen someone talking on TV about what was it? Hang on, I'll cut this bit out. It was something to do with how do we
stop crime getting...
Whatever they said, it didn't make sense, because I was just screaming at the TV. I was thinking, just make the punishment harsher.
Yeah.
Then it won't happen as much. It was about, we need to ban certain knives. Yeah, you can ban all the knives you want.
They'll find something else.
They will find a knife.
Exactly.
If they don't even go to prison for it.
Exactly.
So, and the prisons being too full. Yeah. Why are they too full? Because the punishments aren't harsh enough.
I know. And we've got so many foreign nationals in our prisons. And per year it costs £51,000 to keep a prisoner in the UK. So we've got quite a few Albanians. Notoriously, we've got a lot of Albanian people in British prisons. Now think of all that money we're spending putting up these foreign criminals. It's not our problem. Send them back.
Yeah, I totally agree.
One of my I don't know why it's controversial, but what's seen as a controversial take now, I think we should bring back the death penalty, actually.
So do I.
Because if I'm going to be killed for murdering you, I'm going to think twice about murdering you.
Yeah.
But if I get let off 20 years in prison, 10 on good behaviour, that's all right. I don't like it very
5 on
much.
extra good behaviour or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It's
mental.
ridiculous.
So we need to make people fear committing crime again. But apparently I'm going to be some Nazi for saying that, I reckon.
No.
That's what people are like.
Do you know, I was born in Singapore, right? And Singapore has a very low crime rate.
Yeah,
and
very nice out there,
beautiful. And I could walk down the street any time of day or night wearing whatever I wanted. I'd be completely safe. I could leave my door unlocked.
Yeah.
But that is because if you do something, you will get put in prison for life, or they have the death penalty there.
Exactly. It's like Saudi Arabia. They've got Sharia law. If you nick so much as a chocolate bar from a shop, they chop your hand off.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm not going to nick a chocolate bar.
No, exactly. I mean, I don't know if that one might be a bit too harsh, because...
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that. No. I mean, I bet they don't have people stealing stuff from shops.
No, exactly.
So there's some method to their madness.
Yeah, exactly. And it's almost like, a lot of these politicians and people on the news and stuff all scratching their heads at why all this is going on. But it's like, fucking put them in jail for 20 years if they've got a knife on them.
Yeah.
Just have a knife on them.
Exactly.
Because they
stop doing it.
Yeah. They treat people who have knives on them as if they'll confiscate it at the most. But I think they should be treated as if they've actually used it, because that's what it's for.
Exactly.
You know?
They've not got good intentions.
No.
It's premeditated.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
it's as good as murder. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I just think, I mean, I love and hate politics because I get so into it and then I can't do anything about it. So then I shut off. It's annoying.
But also, name one politician that everyone loves.
No,
you can't.
Exactly.
It's very toxic. And
that's why
people get famous politicians get murdered. I think it was David Amos and Joe Cox might have been. MPs getting murdered because people don't agree with them.
No,
it's mental.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm hesitant to say I'm going to be a politician, because I don't really want to. If that's the climate I'm entering. But
absolutely, I agree.
Be the change you want to see.
For sure. I think there's things I agree with in all parties. It's just the one that I agree with most would be reform. But there's still things I don't agree with.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course, the whole illegal immigrant boat situation, which is when you said that on Big Brother, I was like, yes, someone's saying it on TV and aren't scared to say it. But I'm sorry, but I mean, let's make sure that everyone knows there's a difference between illegal migrants and just migrants. Like,
I know,
you know, when you go into a hospital, when I was in hospital last year, I had Filipinos looking after me and they were fucking amazing. And I loved it.
Lovely people.
But they've come in legally and we know who they are. But these people on these fucking boats, they're all men.
Yeah.
They
never
are
children or the wives, so they can't be refugees because they leave their loved ones at home.
No.
And then they don't integrate very well. They could be rapists, murderers.
Well,
we don't
there's
know
one
who they
on the
are.
loose right now that got released by accident.
I know. It's mental.
An illegal immigrant who was in prison, in an English prison for sexual assault, is now on the loose.
Yeah.
Why the fuck is he here in the first place?
Exactly. It's not our problem.
I don't know how much of this I'm going to have to cut out, but seriously, why the fuck is he here in the first place?
But this is common sense,
and then the liberals say,
people...
it's propaganda, it's not real. No, it is fucking real.
Exactly.
It is
and
real.
It's women of this country and children of this country in danger.
Thank you.
So it's not like I'm looking out for my own. I'm looking out for the vulnerable people.
This is
it. Could be your daughter. It could be your mother. It could be you or what. Like,
this is exactly it.
Yeah. To have a safe society, which is the number one duty of the government, we need to make sure that criminals are locked up and can't harm good people like you or I.
Exactly.
That shouldn't be controversial.
And I think
if you're going to call me a bigot for saying that, I don't care because I know I'm right.
I think paedophiles should just...
Yeah. If there was a paedophile who served his sentence, would you want him living down your road?
No,
you fucking wouldn't.
He should be somewhere else. There should be an island just for them.
Exactly. Or just death penalty.
Yeah, straight death penalty.
Because they've obviously got a screw loose. I don't want them living in the same country as me, where they could rape me or rape my child or something like that.
No, I think if a paedophile has actually committed a crime, straight death penalty. But if there are ones that have is it an illness? What is it?
Well, that's what they blame, but I don't buy that.
No, I don't.
I think supposing it's like images on your computer, that's obscene, and I think give them a bloody harsh prison sentence. But maybe that's not death penalty. But if they carry out an act, I don't know exactly my stance, but
torture then death penalty.
Yeah. You want to make it proper bad, but you can't just give death penalty willy-nilly because every now and again you may get it wrong. Yeah. And you might actually kill someone who was actually innocent.
But
so you've got to
completely agree. But the flip side is, so this is what I debate within my head when I think about the death penalty is, yes, you might kill an innocent person, but then also, which is worse, the actual murderers and rapists and paedophiles killing innocent people, like what numbers are higher? Do you know what I mean? You can obviously, but there's a balance though, isn't there? Yeah, you might kill an innocent person, and that's why it couldn't just be like, oh, you did that, go die. It has to be like
got to be certain
process.
It was them.
Yeah, because I think in America, if you're on death row, you're on there for a while.
Yeah,
like 10 years or something.
Yeah, I think it varies depending on the state, but it can be very long. And but even them, like, why are they keeping them on death row for that long?
No,
like,
I know.
If I was on death row for that long, I think I'd want to call it a day.
Yeah,
because
can you just get rid of me now, please? Yeah, give me my McDonald's and get...
yeah. What do you think about how to kill? I don't know. Do you think lethal injection or electric chair or something tasty?
I think it has to be the most torturous.
Really?
For someone who's raped a child, absolutely. I think they should be. I would happily. Maybe
it depends on the crime.
But, I would happily take that job.
Yeah. But I take pleasure from watching that happen. If it's someone really evil,
maybe
they're misguided. Oh,
No.
gone full circle.
Not the paedophiles.
Yeah, no, I'm
Well,
sticking up for pedos.
No.
Off
Fuck
of
it
their
up.
head. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so let's get back on track. So YouTube for you is your next venture.
Yes.
Podcast.
At the moment, yeah.
And I really want you to continue your rural Britain episodes. That's so cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I've crossed the Rubicon now of being so renowned for my political stance. Even though I don't feel I was that political on Big Brother. It's just they only show 45 minutes of each 24-hour period.
Yeah.
So they're going to show the best conversations that trigger people, and those tend to be the political ones. So now I'm
mix
known
the
as
two.
Could do, but it's just a case of like you got to build a personal brand, don't you? You got to find your niche.
Absolutely.
So is my niche a countryside presenter, like a bloody Ben Fogle type, or is it going to be a political commentator, like a Dan Wootton type? I don't know if there's an in between, so I've got to pick a side and stick to it. I don't. Yeah, it's very early.
I still think
this
you
time
could do
last month,
both.
I was in the house, so it's very early days still. But
Absolutely.
yeah, I do still want to. I'm passionate about the British countryside still, so I don't know what the future looks like, but I do want to do something about rural Britain still.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
That's what I enjoy.
And what did you do before Big Brother?
Well, I was actually on the acting hamster wheel. I was trying to become an actor, and so I got into that through. I first did TV extras work. I was made redundant during COVID. I was working at an airport, so I was made redundant at Stansted Airport, and they say as one door closes, another door opens. So my mum saw a Facebook advert looking for extras on an Apple TV show, a period piece, and they wanted men with long beards or red hair. So bingo.
Yeah.
Did the extras job, and I really enjoyed it. I was meeting people from all walks of life, and they come from different areas of the country, and they said, yeah, I do TV extras work. I get on all sorts of things, Marvel, period stuff, soap operas, you name it, they've done it. So I signed up to all the different agencies and started working as an extra, and I tasted blood and wanted more. So I started, I got an acting CV together, got a show reel, started emailing all these different agents, managed to get an acting agent, and then started doing commercials. And some of the commercials I did started going viral when I was on the show.
Yeah.
I've done various. I've done a Stagecoach advert, I've done a Debenhams Christmas advert with Liz Hurley, a Eurovision advert with Nigella Lawson, lots of different things. I was doing very well, and that's why I grew my hair out, because you want to look different. You want to stand out, make an impression. So that's what I did. And I was fairly successful. And I think that did help getting on to Big Brother, because I had a few stories to tell. But as I say, none of them really made the final cut because I was too busy talking about illegal immigrants.
And you applied for Big Brother before, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I actually went in the rehearsal house last year, and I think that's quite secretive. I don't know if I'm meant to say that, but
I've done that before, the rehearsal house.
Oh, really? What year?
Years ago. So I did actually do Celebrity Big Brother 2017.
Yeah.
And I did the rehearsal house, I think it was like 5 years before. It's quite a long time before.
Was that on Channel 4 then?
No,
Or 5?
the rehearsal. Yeah. 4,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, it's a while back now, yeah. But so I did apply, and in the rehearsal house, I knew I made an impression. I thought they really liked me.
Yeah.
And I actually spoke to someone in the crew, and they said, "Trust me, if you apply next year, I can't say anything, but I think you're gonna get it."
Did you get any warnings in the rehearsal house?
You did? I did as well. I remember them calling me in, and it was just... I was doomed from the beginning, wasn't I?
Yeah.
I wasn't that bad, and they said, like, you were such a good housemate in there. I'm not a bad person. They know I'm, like, a good guy. I just got some views that some people disagree with.
Yeah,
It shouldn't be an outplay. Like, Big Brother is the show for me, you'd think. But it didn't pan out the way I wanted it, and... listen, I did enjoy it while I was there, and it's a shame how it ended, but I wouldn't change it because I was me. I wasn't fake, and that's what you got to be in these shows, because they want the authentic side of everyone on there.
How old are you? If you let me ask.
How old do I look?
You look really young.
Thank you. Good girl. No, I'm 23.
Yeah, well, that is young.
So, yeah, I suppose so. But,
And are you dating?
No, I've never wanted to. Well, I've had a lot of offers since coming off the show. So, I think, something may be on the horizon. So,
Really?
Who knows? We'll see. But I've never wanted to get in a relationship. I just feel in my 20s, I've got to try and build a career for myself. Like, get something lined up. So sort the career out and then the romance will come. But so as a result, I've never been on dating apps or anything like that. I never wanted to seek a relationship. Never prior to the show or anything, never been in a relationship, never had a first kiss, never slept with anyone.
You've never had a kiss?
I'm trying to be the next Dalai Lama.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you're on the right path. I feel like as well, it's quite rare nowadays, especially in the world where Bonnie Blue is idolised.
Men in a day.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But it's just it. We're dropping our standards just for I don't know, short-lived relationships. And back in the day, you wouldn't sleep with someone until you married them. That was quite normal in maybe 100, 200 years ago. But I just feel like if that happened, if it comes about, I'd lean into it. I'm not shy about it. I just think I want to sort out my career first because I've got one shot at this thing they call life.
Exactly.
There's plenty more fish in the sea. Whereas I've only got 10 years in my 20s where I've got that energy to try and build something.
For sure.
And
talk to me about the sex shop. Did you work in a sex shop?
That's right. Yeah. I was a sex toy factory. It was. I had the interview. I thought it was a bathroom supplies company because some bloke on the industrial estate said, "Oh yeah, no, they do pipes and stuff, different types of pipes, I think." But so I went in and I did well at the interview. He said, "Oh, let's go for a tour around the warehouse." Takes me round. There's rows upon rows of sex dolls, like life-sized sex dolls. They've got no head. They've got a little screw at the neck.
Have you ever had sex with one?
No. I don't think I want to. I've seen it.
Yeah.
But I was an admin assistant. I dealt with complaints and returns and stuff. Every now and again, people would send back their used dildos and like we said, we don't want you to send them back, just bin them. But every now and again we'd have one come through and it's my bloody job to deal with it. I don't know, if I got mug written on my forehead or something.
How long did you work there?
Well, it was over COVID actually, so I was there for about 8 months, a year.
Yeah.
So a few stories to tell there, but I don't miss it. Put it like that.
Exactly. So you wouldn't be going back to that anytime soon.
No, oh no.
So would you see yourself as an entrepreneur?
Yeah. Well, I don't own a business, so not by definition.
Yeah.
But I am. I suppose I've always been quite entrepreneurial. I used to sell sweets at school, for instance.
Really?
Made over 10 grand.
On selling sweets?
Yeah, raking it in,
oh
baby.
Oh my God. So you've literally been a grafter.
Yeah, well, if life gives you lemons, make lemonade.
No,
sort of
exactly.
Yeah,
that's so sick.
Yeah.
Did you go to private school?
No. People think I did. People think, oh, you're so posh, George. But
yeah,
no,
because you're super intelligent. That's
well,
why it kind of comes across. Yeah. No,
you're not too bad yourself.
I'm not being honest, but I mean, it kind of comes across like that.
Yeah. Oh, cheers. Appreciate it.
But anyway, George, I want to thank you so much for coming on today. You've been a great guest to have on. I'm so glad you've got your opinions and you stick by them.
Thanks for giving me a voice, because as I say, it's not necessarily fashionable to have someone with my opinions on their podcast. So I do appreciate it, and kudos to you for that.
Yeah, I mean, people don't have to like you or like what you say, but I feel like, and it's the same with me, I get it all the time, but I feel like it's so important to just let everyone be themselves, as long as you're not hurting anyone or harming anyone or
let's agree
whatever.
to disagree.
Yeah, agree to disagree and be a good person. So
thank you, Gemma. You're all right.
Thank you so much,
Not as
George.
good as me, but
we're going to disagree on that, and we're going to end the podcast.
Sod this, I'm gone.
I want to hear your feedback, so please let me know in the comments what you thought of that episode, and please make sure you're subscribed to the Spread the Juice YouTube channel and turn those notifications on. Please also follow us on Instagram and X. Thanks.